Oh yeah, wait a second. I'm supposed to show timeout. This is a no cheating zone on this channel, okay? Anyway, I could actually probably make this video, just talking over it, but I thought it probably looked nicer if maybe people will click more if I just show the screen. Anyway, so before I get into the topic, remember if you like these kind of videos, like, sub to the channel, comment, whatever, helps the channel. And also actually, something before I get into this as well, I actually randomly checked 4chan recently, and oh boy, playing this game for the second time this year and showing me playing it, wow, that got quite the haters were in full force, but I saw a lot of people defending me as well, so thanks to whoever defended me on this crazy world of the internet, I guess, on 4chan. Anyway, what I want to get in today, though, is something I talked about on stream, and people often ask, Clayton, why did you get bored of Guilty Gear? Why don't you care about Guilty Gear? Why did you stop playing Guilty Gear? But I want to make this more interesting, so I want you to think about this, again, in more of a kind of psychological way. I want to talk about what motivates you to play a video game in the first place. What makes you passionate about playing a video game, you know what I mean? What motivates you? What gives you inspiration to play a video game, right? So, while I get into this, and of course I'm going to talk about myself, of course, jacking myself off a little bit, but I'm going to try to put this on you as well so you can think about this. Let's throw out the whole, of course, fact that I don't like the community. Throw that in the trash. Let's throw out the fact that I'm sick, right? Let's assume that I never got sick, right? Which, of course, that's not possible, I guess. Even if I really was motivated to play video games again, I couldn't because of health. But again, throwing that out the window for the time being. What motivates you to play a game, right? Well, let's look at some examples. I think a classic example is, look at a game like Third Strike. I don't care about Third Strike, but, a classic example of something that might be, oh man, when people saw Daigo do the Chun-Li super parry, oh my god, I want to do that and feel like I'm awesome, right? The wind was really loud outside right now. Fall is coming, I guess. Winter is coming. Anyway, people saw the Chun-Li parry, whatever, they were motivated to play Third Strike, right? Like, I don't give a fuck about Third Strike, but that is something that motivated people to play Third Strike, right? They felt inspired to do it. Maybe you have a bad matchup in a certain video game, there's a counter character, and you feel motivated to try to win that matchup. I would even go and talk about, again, why I talk about archetypes, why they're so important, because it also makes you feel inspired and feel passionate about a game as well. When you look at a game, again, I've used this example of, say, Super Turbo. Super Turbo is a great narrative for fighting games in general, in the grand scheme of video games even. When you have those two classic characters of Sagat versus Balrog, right? Such clear, distinct, archetypical characters. If we were to think about video games almost as a sport, if you will, you have your favorite team. This is the kind of thing that I like about video games. So I feel passionate about wanting this character to win, right? Maybe that makes you feel motivated, right? Just like, say, sometimes when I play Super Turbo, I'll give an example, since I don't play a lot of video games, sometimes it takes me a bit to get into my groove, and maybe I'll feel a little bit motivated to play if I feel like, man, my DPs were, I could tell my reactions were a little bad, right? Maybe I feel motivated. It's like, I kind of want to play again because, I can tell I can DP better there. Whatever it might be. Maybe it's a combo. You know what I mean? In today's day and age where games are so pre-plat and pre-planned and every Jimmy wants to feel like they're the star quarterback. Everyone is posting that one combo on Twitter. They feel that inspiration to do a combo. So what I'm getting at is there's lots of different motivations why people play video games, and there's lots of different inspirations why people play video games. And the long story short is, for who I am in video games, I just didn't feel inspired by Guilty Gear anymore. There was no reason to play it anymore. I've said before, and I know some people probably get mad at me saying this, I've probably not even ever played AC plus R, this Guilty Gear game. Probably never even played it 100 times, right? Because if you think about the time frame when this game came out after I had got second at that Evo, whatever, and I'd won that big East Coast tournament for Guilty Gear as well. You know what I mean? I just saw that the community, no matter what I did, all these dudes that devote their lives to playing video games, and I was a sick kid, still able to compete and win a lot of these tournaments, right? I saw that competitively, video games had nothing for me. Because I was never going to be able to play as much as these guys. I didn't care about the game as much as them. And that's not to say I'm not a nerd. Of course I'm a nerd, right? But I saw no matter what I did, the community was always going to make up lies about me because they were insecure that I was better than them at a video game, right? And the fact they say I lied about being sick is so absolutely disgusting, right? But so competitively, I just don't care about games the same way anymore, right? And then when you think about the time frame that Accent Core and Plus R came out, I really just saw that, you know what I can do for games? I can just be a tech dude. I can be a combo dude. I can help the community because just like I've always been able to do, I don't need to play a game to know how it's going to work. I know, like, maybe for some people that are newer that watch me for Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Ball FighterZ is not the only game that I ever had called how it was going to work exactly, right? You know what I mean? Even if I wanted to play Accent Core a lot, which I guess I'm kind of rambling now, right? Again, I probably never even played this game 100 times because me and a friend, we only see each other randomly to play games. And if we are going to play games, it's not necessarily going to be Guilty Gear, right? So again, I've never even played this game probably 100 times ever, but... So even games like Accent Core back in the day, I was able to tell how the game was going to work. And I posted about it, right? I could tell how all this Soul stuff was going to work. I could tell the game was going to work. I could tell how all this Kai stuff was going to work. And of course, the same old story. People thought I was going to be wrong. The Japanese had had the game for a year. All this kind of stuff. Or else they would have done it. Well, of course, what do you know? 20 years of doing this shit, dude. As a fucking kid before I could even drive. Little baby Clayton. I guess I didn't have a diaper, but that would be pretty funny if I actually had a diaper and I won a tournament. Maybe that's bad image. Hopefully I'm not. Anyway, let's not imagine that. But the thing is, I didn't feel motivated because I saw that, and I guess if you saw the matches I've posted of myself, someone that has probably never even played this game 100 times, right? If you've watched those matches, and I have no competitive ego in this game. I have no competitive ego in Accent Core. This isn't me saying that I'm better than the Japanese or anything like that, because, again, I don't even have an opinion on the tier list of this game, right? You know what I mean? I can only tell you what I know is possible. I know it's possible because I know someone such as myself who doesn't play games even seriously. I know what I can do in it. And I've showed matches of me doing supposedly humanly impossible stuff that not even the top Japanese have ever done in real matches. I can do it, right? You know what I mean? Let alone people just like, oh, it's a combo video. I proved I can do it in real matches. I don't give a fuck, right? Again, this isn't me saying that I'm better than anyone because there's no competitive ego. But in terms of being motivated and inspired, you know what I mean? When you look at what all these other people have done that dedicate their lives to video games and everything like that, and I've seen what I can do, it makes it not motivating to play. Just like someone sees a Chun-Li Third Strike, whatever, the parry. Again, I don't care about Third Strike, but it's such a cliche example that got people horny about Street Fighter 3. That made them want to play it. Back in the day when I was a kid, of course, I used to see stuff and be like, wow, I want to do that. But I'm an adult now. I've already done it, right? You know what I mean? I've done I've done stuff that most people who are not sick will never be able to do in video games, let alone with the health problems I've had, let alone with the amount of time I've been playing, right? There's like not a lot of motivation for me, and I know even if I wanted to, I physically couldn't anymore, right? Because it just, health-wise, it's just not possible. But I didn't have that motivation because I look at what all these other dudes are doing, and I'm like, man, I don't even play the game seriously. And look what I can do. Look what I can do in this game. And I've said before, I don't even play this game optimally either. You know what I mean? I use way more optimal ideas than you see all these famous, the top level Kais of the time, right? I definitely use more optimal ideas than them. But there are some things that even I don't do. But that's because I legitimately have not played the game enough to even have the muscle memory. I know if I could physically do it, yes, I know I could do it because I've showed what I can do without even playing the game. right? And so that makes games not motivating to me, you know. And I could make a video of like how Kai should be played optimally in this game, right? You know what I mean? Because I don't do everything optimally in this game, but you know, there are definitely things, you know, if I played the game, you know, more seriously, I know I should go for, but I just don't, right? And of course, matchup knowledge, right? You know what I mean? Just I played the game so very little, right? You know what I mean? But that kind of stuff makes me not motivated for the game anymore, right? Because no one inspires me anymore. I'm not inspired by anything. The only reason I came back quotation marks for a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ is because it was a new game. It inspired me, as I often say, to see if this can change my perspective on fighting games. And it wasn't me who had to do it. That's why I said many times, I don't have to play Dragon Ball Fighters, whatever it's called. I can tell it's going to work. That's the whole reason I posted for 6 months. I was like, I don't need to get this game. I just kind of want to play Vegito if he comes out. I can tell how this game is going to work. Do it. Have fun with it. Community. I know the community. I know most of you guys are not even good at games. But guess what? I don't need to make money off this. Just do it, right? And the community's just like, no, none of this stuff is going to work, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like, God, I guess I got to fucking do this again because no one's going to be able to do this without me again, right? But the point is, certain things motivate you. Like, why did I play Karna's Revenge, right? I guess I'm talking shit about the Chun-Li parry because, you know, I was like, oh shit, you know, there's a thing called GGPO now. Oh, I remember Mizuguchi. Oh, these things are combo videos. And I knew my perspective on games was different. It's like, oh, I could do this shit. And what happened? 2-3 weeks, I was already one of the best in the world. A couple months later, Japanese had a thread about me on 2chan. I was too good in the game. Best in the world, where the fuck it was. You know what I mean? So I felt some motivation. You know what I mean? Felt some motivation, so I went online. People said Clayton couldn't win anymore. Boom, destroyed these guys. You got beat by a guy that sleeps next to a garbage can who's wondering how long he's going to be alive. Okay? Sorry. Facts are facts, right? But I just didn't have motivation for the game. That's why. And so that's really, I don't know what the reason you want. And it's just, I'm just trying to be as honest and nerdy with you guys as possible. I need to be inspired to play a video game, just like everyone else needs to be inspired. There's an ideal you see. Maybe there's something that makes you passionate to play a video game. Some people have a big competitive ego. Maybe you want to beat your friend, whatever it is. But if the passion of the Christ, whatever it is, if your passion isn't there for a game, you just don't care. And that's why I didn't play, because there's just nothing that inspires me to play anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? Anyway, I tried to make that a little bit deeper for you guys. The end.